All right, guys, welcome to Fast Five with the digital learning team, where we will be looking at some bite sized training and goals for your path to conquering your Canvas course. I'm Chelsey.
Hey guys, I'm Brian. We are one half of a four-person digital learning team. Angie and Martine are on the team as well. They're not here. So without further ado, let's just jump in and get you on your way.
Yes. So, right now, I'm going to go ahead and start presenting so we can walk through this together. If you're listening to this rather than watching the video, we will provide all of the links so that you can interact with this on your own.
We're gonna have show notes like a real podcast. Like,
Like a full on real podcast. Now, you'll
yeah.
have to forgive us a little bit because this is our first recording,
Mhm.
first episode, if you will, inaugural Fast Five with the DLT. But we
Yeah.
even dressed up for the show, right, Brian? I'm wearing my flannel per the usual, even chose
Yes.
some red and black for canvas.
Oh, that's awesome. So every time you train, I'm like, what flannel are you gonna wear? And this is the perfect one. So
I may have gone through my closet over the closure and there may be a section of just flannel, but we'll see how
excellent.
many come out in this podcast. I know you guys can't see it, but you should know it is red and black to match our canvas. So
Yes.
Brian's going to go ahead and take it away with our first tip.
Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about, like when we're doing this Fast Five, that like I wanted to tell people about the first tip is how to get help. Like if you're sitting in your classroom, or well, when we come back, right now you're probably in your house. When you're in your classroom and you're like building a course, or even heaven forbid, like if the kids are sitting there, but let's hope it's not that dire, right? But and maybe you have made an assignment and the kids are turning it in and you're like, how do I grade this? Right? How do I give feedback? Well, you're going to want to log into Canvas, okay, to get help. So, like Chelsey's doing that right now. And when you are logged in, you're going to want to click on the help button. It's on the left side and it's like a question mark. And right in there, you're going to see a hotline, like a phone number. You can call someone and you can just get help and talk to a live person. The numbers there, it's like 1-855. I don't want to say it too much because you got to be a subscriber, right, to have that number. But Canvas may not be happy with me if I do that. Or you can do live chat. Like if you need to like get help and like your kids are sitting there and you don't want to be on the phone, you can like have a live chat on your computer. You can start it right there, almost like you're chatting with like, I don't know, T-Mobile or Apple or somebody like that, right? You can tell what my life consists of with tech support there. Um, I don't know, like what all you could ask. So I mentioned grading. Like you could ask anything here, really. Like you can even ask how to, build a homepage, right? I mean, pretty much anything in there. The next thing is also on the menu that the Canvas guides. So if you click on open the Canvas guides, it takes you to the Canvas community. And guys, now that we are a Canvas district, I want to challenge everybody to build your professional learning network around Canvas. You probably already have a PLN kind of around Google or whatever your subject area is. But there's an awesome community. So you can literally search for anything. So, like, I don't know, like, let's search for how do I share an enrollment link to a course. I mean, you literally type the question in, and there's going to be a guide probably that pops up with screenshots, with receipts, as they say, on how to do it. Okay, I don't even know if I use that correctly. I'm a nerd. Anyway, so that's how it works. So you can log in to the community if you want to, and by logging in, you can kind of like save documents that maybe you frequently use. Like, I want to refer back to that. You want to make sure that you're on the garlandisd.instructure.com like link there, but I know if you're just listening to this, you're not seeing what I'm doing, but if you're watching it, you can see that Chelsea's doing it. Um, but you want to attach to our server, basically, to our instance of Canvas. Okay, like the last support, so giving you two. So the last one is the elementary Canvas Facebook group. And some of you secondary teachers are like, I'm not going to join an elementary Canvas. Really, truthfully, even though you're going to see a lot of elementary centric things, there's going to be a lot of takeaways that you can go use in your course. They have like whole course templates there that you can import. They have even trainings that they'll host live on like Facebook Live. So there's other Facebook groups as well, but I wanted to do a special shout out to that one. So Chelsey, that was my tip, was like how to get help.
Yes.
So
I have learned so much through
okay.
all of the things that you just mentioned, but especially the Facebook elementary group, because people are constantly asking questions. And it's nice to have that on there mixed in with like my pictures of cats and dogs that I'm creeping on, or the funny GIFs. And you can definitely put on blinders too to not see everything else on Facebook, but just use the groups for that purpose. It will ask you a couple of questions to get in, but they approve very quickly. On that same line of support, our second tip for today is using the skills checklist in the digital learning team website. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate to that. This is something that we're frequently updating. We also talk about this on our Twitter and Instagram, but if you've never gone to our digital learning website, this is how you go. So once you're logged into Chrome, you're going to have a bookmarks folder that is forcibly added to your Chrome account, your Garland ISD login, that is staff apps. Okay. And we made the cut. Forcibly added. You should have this. You will like it. And I'm going to show you why you should like it. And I like that we made the cut. Our digital learning website is on here. So if I'm signed into my Garland account, this is very user-friendly to use. Some of our embedded files and such, we have restricted to Garland ISD, but you will be able to access a lot of it even if you're not signed in. So up here on our top, we have the Canvas course. And that's not the Canvas logo, but honestly, it's the closest I could get. I think it's a Japanese flower, but it's red and it kind of looks like their little Canvas circles.
I thought it was.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Okay, so once you're on our homepage, you can see that there's a day one, week one, month one skill list. We're really trying to focus in on small bites, okay? If you've never heard this saying, to eat a whole elephant, how do you get started? One bite at a time. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it goes, Brian Dean, but I know it's something like that.
Yeah, something. We'll go with that. That sounds great.
I don't know if I would ever eat an elephant, but one bite at a time is how you would go. So if you wanted to, you could scroll on our homepage. There's lots of resources here for you down at the bottom. It even talks about how to access more training with inside of Canvas, what our Canvas support looks like at Garland ISD. There are demos. So Bonnie Martinez and Angie Cheatham, one of our other teammates, they have done some awesome demos from what it would look like from the student side. So if you're trying to see what that looks like, we link out to lots of resources. And for our first episode today, and then our first couple of episodes, we're going to be focusing on, like, tip 1 was straight here from our homepage. Tip 2 through 5, they're going to be coming from this day 1 view. So if you wanted to follow along and start checking off some of your learning, you could make a copy of this checklist. So right here, it says day 1 Conquering Canvas checklist template. When you click on that link, which we will provide in our for our listeners rather than our viewers, you can make a copy of that template, and then you can start moving through learning some of these things yourself. So lots and lots of resources here. And that was tip number 2.
That was awesome. And just for the folks at home, you get to that site on the digital learning website, everything there. All right. I want to kind of shift and talk about like students, kind of stuff with your students. You know, when you are learning face to face, like normal, of course, what is normal these days? But remember back when you had students in front of you, you would introduce yourself, you would kind of build that community. So there's a really cool way. My tip would be to create a great first impression. Okay, so by building, by like doing a profile pic and a little biography. So when you're inside Canvas, like you see like your account, it's at the top of the left side of the screen. And if you haven't uploaded a picture, I think it's like your initials. I'm not sure.
I think mine
Uh,
was a CC. Yeah, I think that's
okay,
right.
yeah. I think mine was BD. But when you click there, you can upload a picture of yourself. Or if you don't want to do a picture of yourself, you can do a picture of anything. And that just kind of personalizes your course. I kind of like putting yourself on there instead of, I don't know, like an emoji, just so the kids, like, if they've never, truly never seen you before, right? Which is so weird to think. But anyway, then in that same screen, you can do a bio and do like something short. We all know the kids aren't going to read like a novel about your life or anything like that, but maybe a little bit of a bio about who you are and what you're into or what you're excited about. Maybe a little bit of what you're going to um, learn this year. You can really get in there and add a lot of cool things to your bio and introduce yourselves that way. Um, and then I think that's kind of it. That's kind of it. Just like spice up
Yeah.
your biography. Yeah.
I was gonna try and come up with something creative to put in my biography, but I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
come back to it because I feel
Yeah.
like not even though I can edit it, maybe I put like flannel, fast five, fun, and something. I have
Sure.
to come back and work on that. But
Oh,
it is really
oh,
easy.
I forgot one other thing I wanted to share. So underneath where you type in your bio, for those of you that aren't looking at the YouTube version of this, but underneath there you can add links. So like you can literally label a link Twitter and put your Twitter profile on there, or Instagram if you have like a class Instagram or things like that. So you can really personalize your bio and help your kids feel like they know who you are. So
Exactly. And I have my
and
headshot
parents.
on here that was taken by Dave Burton. He did a really good job. So
Shout
that's
out
my
to
go-to.
Dave. Okay.
He
Super.
deserves it. This picture makes me look a lot better than I do when I'm wearing my flannel and my
Stop it.
humidity hair. So
Stop it right now.
okay. Well, now that Brian talked about our first impression, I'm going to move into talking about our tip number 4, which is called creating a sandbox course. Now, if you've ever
Oh,
heard on Canvas, they like to call it a sandbox course because you really get to play around without there being the grade book or the students attached. So I'm going to go ahead and create a course and I'm going to name it my sandbox course. So I'm going to go to my dashboard and get out of my profile. So I'm in my dashboard right now, and over on the right side, as I'm a teacher, I can start a new course. So right now you can see I've got a couple of things under my to-do. I've got a couple of courses I've already created, but I'm going to start a brand new course and call this my sandbox course. And then I'm going to make this public domain. Not that anybody will use this, but I'm going to create my course. The nice thing about having a sandbox course, without going too deep into everything that we can do in the sandbox course, is like I said, I can play around here. I can look at what it looks like to add in certain apps. I can look at what this will look like for me practicing putting in some Google documents for students to work on. I can practice a lot of those skills that we talked about earlier on our checklist without worrying about somebody seeing it. I can publish it. I can check it from the student view. I can add Brian as a co-teacher. We can play around in this sandbox without other people being notified. So I
yeah.
can delete, I can add, I can move, I can change around, I can beautify if I have the time. All of those kind of things, I can change up my navigation in here. Build up the castle, tear it down. Let the waves wash over it if it's something I really don't want to keep. Or if it's something I like, then I can recreate that in my other courses. It's a perfect way to play.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know that's what we've been doing. I probably have 3 unpublished courses right now that I'm just like learning in. That's a great tip. Awesome. Are you ready for the last one? I can't believe we're already to the
I
5th
can't
tip.
believe it's the fast 5, Brian. It's fast
It is
and furious,
fast.
and it's 5 tips.
Yes, it is. All right, let's do it. So, I want to talk about something that sounds really intimidating, but it's not. It's called the Rich Content Editor, or the RCE. Okay, this is how you're going to input content, okay, into your course. So let's maybe make a page. So for those of y'all that are watching on YouTube, we're actually in a course and we're going to click on a page and we're going to create a new page so that we can get the rich content editor. For those of y'all listening, that's what we did. It's hard for you to see, but that's what we did. So
those are the exact steps.
yeah, those are the exact steps. So we're gonna call it. Why don't we maybe do like meet the teacher? Is that good?
Good call.
Like a meet. Like we want to introduce ourselves. So okay, real quick. I'll say this real quick. So here's my thought process on this. So I'm creating a page instead of a module. Okay, because it's the beginning of the school year. So if you create a meet the teacher page, you can use the RCE, the rich content editor, and you can, add in a picture of yourself, like a video, and then you can set this page as the home page so that when students and parents are coming, this is what they see first. I hope that makes sense to the people out there thinking. And then maybe like after the second week of school, maybe you come back into Canvas and you change the home page to your modules or something like that. So that's just kind of where my head is going on this. So inside the rich content editor, you can see that it looks like a word processor, kind of like Google Docs or something like that. You can bold, you can italicize, you can add in all of the integrations. Like you can actually add in a YouTube video. So let's say you had a welcome video on YouTube, you can do it that way. You can add in apps. You can add something from your Google Drive, add headings and things like that. So there's a lot of things you can do here in the rich content editor. So let's try to add an image. Chelsey, how about that?
Yes, and obviously you would have text that is much more inviting than what I have.
Right. She wrote, "Hello, I'm so glad that you will be a part of our classroom." I think that's nice, Chelsey. If a teacher said that to me, I like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and I like where Brian's head was at on this too, where you were talking about how we want them to see our faces first. So I'm going to try and embed an image. I'm going to embed AKA add.
Yeah. So she's clicking. I know you can't really see it, but she's clicking on inserting an image. And for the image source, she's clicking on Canvas because she's uploaded files already into Canvas, or she can upload it directly here. Okay, so I think I'm just going to watch and see what she uploads. Like, this is exciting for me here.
It's a GIF, and I'm really hoping that this looks good when it comes in.
Right. And she's just adding.
It does.
Oh, whoa. Look at that. So that's what we talk about. Rich. See that GIF? It's a rich content. So like it can move if it's a GIF, or if it were a video. That's our whole team. Okay. So you can see Chelsey and I there. And Angie and Martine are the other two. So that's a great example of using the rich content. So Chelsey, what if you wanted to like insert something else underneath that GIF? You can see, oh, there it is. There's your cursor. Yes. So you can cursor down and you can type underneath it, and all of that. So that is a really awesome tool that Canvas has. So the RCE will appear not only on pages, but assignments, announcements as well. So great option here.
And I don't know if you can tell, Brian, I am just doing a little bit of editing on the text. It's not, you can't put fancy text in the rich content editor. It's got one text that you can use, but you can change the heading, paragraph, color. So if I really wanted to, I could get a little bit fancy on our color.
Right.
Little fancy.
That's awesome.
But you won't have as much editing as text. And then when you're ready, I'm going to save it. I'm not going to publish it because I'm just practicing.
Right.
It actually doesn't look too bad.
No, it looks pretty good. So again, for those of y'all not watching on YouTube, there's this really cool looking GIF that is rotating. That's like cycling on our page. But
and to make that GIF, I just used Canva without an S, not to be confused with Canvas, but you could really use whatever you wanted to design and put that image in there.
Yep. Cool. Yep. All right. So those are our fast 5 tips, Chelsey. I think we're like done.
Yes. Wow. Well, and thank you guys for joining us for our inaugural episode. We will have more episodes coming. But in the meantime, if you are wanting some daily tips and some reminders from your digital learning team, follow us on Twitter or Instagram at digitalgisd, and then check out our website.
Yeah, that's a great one. So like, do we want to tell them what we're going to talk about next time? Like do a
I
major
think so.
market
Can I do
team?
like a little, I don't know if you can hear my drum roll, but it's going.
All right. So on the next episode, we're going to talk about the Canvas Commons and what you can do
Ooh.
there. Setting a new homepage. So we talked about the page today. In the next episode, we're going to talk about creating a new homepage, adding a module. Oh, and we're going to talk about, this is going to be big, Google Drive and Canvas.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And then I think we should also maybe talk about the student view, maybe on the different devices that the students might have. So anyway, that's coming up next time on our episode 2 of Fast 5 with the digital
Fast
learning team.
5 with the DLT. All right. Well, see you guys, or you'll hear from us very soon.
All right. See y'all later.